today we are going to discuss about muscular tissue. Okay. So far we have covered three tissues. All right. That is a two type of tissue. One is epithelium. Second is called as connective tissue. We have studied different types of connective tissue. Now we are going to talk about muscular tissue. Okay. First we will look at the properties of the muscular tissue. The cells are elongated and they are called as muscle fiber. The first property, the cells are elongated and they are called as muscle fiber. Okay, if you see in the diagram, the cells look like elongated. You can see they are called as muscle fiber. Okay, that is the first part. Second, that you have to remember, their plasma membrane. Okay, their cell membrane or plasma membrane is called as sarcolemma. So their membrane is called as sarcolemma. Okay, the membrane is called as sarcolemma. So you can see in the diagram, first the cells are elongated, so they are called as muscle fiber. Their membrane is called as sarcolemma. Okay, you can see in the diagram. Then their cytoplasm is called as sarcoplasm. Okay, the cytoplasm is called as sarcoplasm. That sarcoplasm contained large number of contractile fibril called as myofibril. You can see this is the sarcolemma. Within the sarcolemma, sarcoplasm is present, and that sarcoplasm contain large number of fibril, contractile fibril which can contract. These are called as myofibril. Okay, these are called as myofibril. The next property is nucleus. They may have the one nucleus or they may have the many nuclei. Okay, then if you observe that myofibril, these myofibrils are made up of protein called as actin and myosin. Can you see in the diagram? So this is called as actin, this is called as myosin. Myosin are thick filament, whereas actin are thin filament. Okay, then they are provided with the blood vessels, so they are said to be vascular tissue. They are provided with the nerves and they contain large number of mitochondria, because mitochondria is called as powerhouse of the cell, and mitochondria are going to produce large quantity of or large number of ATP. So ATP is required for the contraction of the muscle. Okay, so these are the properties. I am again repeating the properties. So in case of the properties, the cells are elongated structure which is called as muscle fiber. These muscle fiber, okay, they are covered by a membrane called as sarcolemma. Okay, within the sarcolemma or within the cell there is a cytoplasm called as sarcoplasm. Okay, now that sarcoplasm contain large number of contractile fibrils called as myofibrils. Okay, the myofibrils are made up of protein called as actin and myosin. Okay, and these actin and myosin can undergo contraction. So fiber can contract and decrease in the length. They are vascular, that is vascular tissue. That means they are provided with a blood vessels. So they are said to be vascular tissue, and they are innervated by nerves. They are provided with the nerve supply as well, and they contain large number of mitochondria which are very useful in the contraction of muscle. Okay, now there are three type of muscles that we are going to study. What are these three type? Cardiac muscle, skeletal muscle, and smooth muscle. So we are going to learn that is all the muscle one by one. Okay, so look at the properties. Cells elongated called as muscle fiber, membrane is called as sarcolemma, cytoplasm is called as sarcoplasm. Sarcoplasm contain large number of contractile fibril called as myofibril. Okay, the nucleus can be one or many, depend on the type of the muscle. Then myofibril made up of protein called as actin and myosin. The fibers contract and they are going to decrease in the length, so they can undergo contraction and relaxation. Then they are vascular tissue, that means they are provided with the blood vessels, blood supply is there, and then they are in contact with the nerves, so they are innervated by nerves, and large number of mitochondria are present so that mitochondria can produce the energy in the form of ATP, which can be utilized for the contraction of muscle. So there are three types of muscles that we are going to study: cardiac muscle, skeletal muscle, and smooth muscle. So the first we are going to talk with, or we are going to start with the muscle called as skeletal muscle. Okay, so you can see this, the next, that is called as the first muscular tissue. That muscular tissue is called as skeletal muscle. If you observe that muscle is attached to the bone with the help of tendon. So what is tendon? Tendon is a type of a dense regular tissue which is going to connect muscle to the bone. If you see that each muscle, okay, they are consist of large number of fasciculi. Okay, you can see this is fasciculi. So what is fasciculi? The fasciculi is made up of many fascicle. What is fascicle? Fascicle is a bundle. Okay, what is fascicle? Fascicle is a bundle, and each fascicle, you can see this is a single fascicle. Okay, so the single fascicle made up of many muscle fiber. So you can see this is a muscle fiber. These muscle fiber are covered by a covering called as endomysium. Okay, so many endomysium, they are covered by a common covering. That common covering is called as a perimysium. Okay, many perimysium will come together and they are going to form epimysium. So I am repeating, pay attention. Skeletal muscle, they found attached to the bone. They consist of large number of fasciculi. Fasciculi is made up of many fascicle. What is fascicle? Fascicle is, that is a group, and that fascicle is covered by a connective tissue sheath. That connective tissue sheath is called as perimysium. Okay, it is called as perimysium. Okay, you can see in the diagram the perimysium is there, right? Again I am repeating, it consists of large number of fasciculi. Okay, that bigger fasciculi is surrounded by epimysium, right? Then single fascicle is surrounded by perimysium, and single muscle is surrounded by endomysium. Okay, so what is the sequence? Endomysium, which is covered by a perimysium. Perimysium is covered by epimysium. Are you getting? And each fasciculus, okay, consists of many muscle fiber, and these are called as myofiber. Whenever word come myo, that is related to muscle. So look at these points. Found attached to the bone with the help of tendon, consists of large number of fasciculi, and which is wrapped by connective tissue called as epimysium. You can see over here, this is the epimysium, right? Then, or fascia. Okay, so each fasciculus, single fasciculus, is covered by a perimysium. You can see this is a perimysium. Okay, now that each fasciculus consists of many muscle fiber, you can see this is a fascicle, and or fasciculus which is made up of single muscle fiber which is covered by a covering called as endomysium. So what is the sequence? Endomysium is surrounded by perimysium, many perimysium is surrounded by epimysium. So I can say the epimysium is made up of many perimysium, that is each perimysium is made up of many endomysium. Okay, so now we are going to talk about single muscle fiber. Okay, we are going to talk about single muscle fiber. Look at this. So you can see this is a single muscle fiber. Now that single muscle fiber, it is also called as a skeletal muscle because it is attached to the skeleton or bone. So it is also called as skeletal muscle. It can perform the action as per your will. So it is also called as voluntary muscle. Okay, then it shows the alternate dark and light band. You can see in the diagram. So there is dark band, there is light band. So there is alternate dark and light band is there. So therefore it is also called as striated muscle fiber. So what you are going to say? Either you can call it little muscle because attached to the bone, or it is going to perform the action as per your will. Barabar. So therefore it is also called as striated muscle fiber or voluntary muscle fiber. Why striated? Because there is presence of alternate dark and light band. Okay, so there are three names. Either you can call it skeletal muscle or voluntary muscle or striated muscle fiber. Okay, now if you observe that, again their membrane is called as sarcolemma, the cytoplasm is called as sarcoplasm, and that sarcoplasm consists of parallelly arranged myofibril. Can you see? Here you can see there are parallelly arranged myofibrils. So these myofibrils, they are arranged in a such a way that they are arranged parallel, but they are arranged in a such a way that dark band of one myofibril will correspond to the dark band of adjacent myofibril. So dark band of one myofibril, it is in contact with the dark band of adjacent myofibril. So that's why throughout you can able to see the alternate dark and light band. Okay, I am repeating again. So here the skeletal muscle is polynucleated, many nuclei are there. So the membrane is called as sarcolemma, cytoplasm is called as sarcoplasm. The sarcoplasm contains that is parallelly arranged myofibrils, and since the myofibril are present within the cell, all the nuclei are shifted to the periphery. Okay. Now, how the myofibrils are there? Myofibrils are going to show alternate dark and light band, but they are arranged in a such a way that dark band of one myofibril correspond to the dark band of another myofibril. So, entire cell is going to show alternate and white band. Okay. Now, the dark band is also called as A band or anisotropic band. You can see this is called as dark band or A band. It is also called as anisotropic band. Okay, what you are going to say, either you can call it as dark band or you can say A band, or it is also called as anisotropic band. Light band is called as isotropic band or I band. Okay, you can see there is a light band. So this light band is called as either I band or it is also called as isotropic band. Okay, now the dark band, if you see that, it is also called as A band or it is also called as anisotropic band. Okay, you can see in the dark band, the dark band is made up of protein called as myosin and actin, whereas light band is made up of only actin. If you see, this is called as myosin, which is a thick filament, which is present exclusively in dark band. Whereas if you see, this is called as thin filament, called as actin filament. Actin filament is present in both dark band as well as light band. If you observe the A band, okay, you can observe the A band. In the A band or in the center of the A band, that is a dark band, there is a zone called as H zone. There is a zone called as H zone or Hansen zone. Okay, and in the H zone, you can see this is the H zone actually. Can you see this? This is the H zone. Okay, so this entire you can see in the diagram, that is H zone, and within the H zone, okay, there is a line, and that line is called as M line. I'm repeating again. Dark band is going to show the light area called as H zone or Hansen zone. In the H zone or Hansen zone, there is a line called as M line. Okay, there is a line called as M line. In the light band or I band, in the light band or the I band, you can see that there is a dark line called as Z line or Z disc. You can see there is a dark line called Z disc or Z line. Okay. Now that Z line, Z is the name of the scientist. Okay. That is Zweshenship is the name of the scientist, and that distance between two successive Z line, distance between two successive Z line, you can see this distance between two successive Z line is called as sarcomere. Okay, distance between two successive Z line is called as sarcomere, and sarcomere is a functional unit of myofibril. What is sarcomere? It is a functional unit of myofibril. What is sarcomere? It is a functional unit of myofibril. I am repeating again, pay attention. First, skeletal muscle. It shows the presence of multi, that is many nuclei. Okay, the membrane is called as sarcolemma. Cytoplasm is called as sarcoplasm. Okay, the sarcoplasm contain parallelly arranged myofibrils. Because of that, nucleus is shifted to the periphery. Okay, now each myofibrils, they are going to show alternate dark and light band. So one myofibrils or many myofibrils, they are arranged in a such a way that one myofibril uh, having the dark band, which dark band correspond to the dark band of adjacent myofibril. Okay, so the dark band and light band both are correspond to each other, so it is going to give the entire dark and light band appearance. Okay, so dark band is also called as A band, light band is called as I band. Dark band is also called as anisotropic band, light band is called as isotropic band. Light band is made up of that is actin, and dark band is made up of actin as well as myosin. Okay, now in case of the dark band, there is a light area called as H zone or Hansen zone. In the H zone, there is a line called M line. In the light area or in the light zone, there is a dark line called as Z line, or that is Zweissen-Sieb line. The Zweissen-Sieb line, so that is called as Z line, and distance between two successive Z line is called as sarcomere, which is a functional unit of myofibril. So look at the point. Skeletal muscle, syncytial fiber, that means it is made up of many nucleated. Syncytium itself, it is a many nucleated. Then membrane is called as sarcolemma. Cytoplasm is called as sarcoplasm. Sarcoplasm contain parallelly arranged myofibrils. So hence the nuclei are shifted periphery. Each myofibril has functional unit called as sarcomere. What is sarcomere? Distance between two successive Z line. Can you remember this? Then sarcomere, it has a dark band and light band. Dark band is also called as anisotropic band or A band. That is the light area as H zone or Hansen zone. Central of the H zone is M line made up of myosin and actin. Light band is called as I band or isotropic band made up of actin only. Dark line is called as Z line, that is Vesen shaped line. Okay, and distance between two successive Z line is called as sarcomere. Okay, so this is all about the first muscle, that is called as skeletal muscle. Now we are going to talk about the muscle. That muscle is called as smooth muscle, or it is also called as smooth muscle, or it is also called as the non-striated muscle. Okay, now if you observe that, either you can call it a smooth muscle because they don't have the alternate dark and light band, so therefore it is called as non-striated. They are present in the visceral organ, therefore they are also called as visceral muscle, that is a third name. Or internal muscle, if you observe that they are always in the bundle or in the form of sheath. Okay, they are either in the form of sheet or layers. So always remember, the smooth muscle fiber, they arrange in the form of sheet or layer. They arrange in the form of sheet or layers. So if you see that single muscle fiber is fusiform in shape. It is a fusiform. What is a fusiform? Boat shape. Both the end are tapering, both the end are narrow, and the middle portion is swollen. So that is called as fusiform or tapering. Okay, so it is the spindle shape. It is unbranched. It is does not have the branch. It is uninucleated. You can see there is a single nucleus over here. So this is said to be uninucleated. So there is only one nucleus. Again, their cytoplasm is called as sarcoplasm. Membrane is called as sarcolemma. Okay. Even they have the myofibrils, which is made up of actin and myosin, but there is less myosin and more actin. Okay. They have the less myosin and more actin. So actin ka concentration is more as compared to the myosin. There are no striation, therefore they are called as smooth muscle. They will undergo smooth and slow sustained involuntary contraction. Okay, so whatever that contraction is there, these contraction are very slow, whereas striated muscle cell are going to perform the contraction, and that's why we can able to work. Okay, so internally they are present internally, so they are connected with the autonomous nervous system. They are innervated by autonomous nervous system. So what do you have to remember? Shape, spindle shape. Okay, uninucleated, unbranched. Their cytoplasm is called as sarcoplasm. What is the shape? The shape is either, what is the shape? The shape is a fusiform or spindle shape, right? Then the myofibrils are made up of actin and myosin. Okay, but there is less myosin and more actin. There are no striations, therefore it is called a smooth muscle cell. They will undergo slow, steady, and sustained contractions, okay, which is involuntary. So these muscles are not under the control of our will, therefore they are called as involuntary. They are innervated by autonomous nervous system, and where they are present? In the visceral organ, in the blood vessels. Okay, so you can see this is the blood vessel, this diagram, right? So you can see these are, that is covered by, or they are having the smooth muscle cell, and even your in your visceral organ, which is nothing but digestive tube. Now you can see this, either they are arranged along the circumference. You can see if they are arranged like this, can you see this? If they are arranged like this next to each other, so they are going to form the circular muscle. And if they are arranged like this, can you see this vertical arrangement? So they are called as longitudinal muscle. So that is a two type of arrangement seen. So look at the point, present in the form of sheet or layers. Each muscle spindle shape or fusiform, tapering toward both end. Both shape, we can say middle portion is swollen. Okay, both the end are narrow, unbranched, uninucleated, nucleus in the center. Then sarcoplasm is, that is cytoplasm contain myofibrils. Myofibrils are made up of actin and myosin, but there are no striations, there are no alternate dark and light band. So it is called a smooth muscle. Less myosin and more actin, no striations, undergo slow, sustained, involuntary contraction, innervated by autonomous nervous system. What is the location? Wall of the visceral organ or visceral muscle, that is called as, therefore it is called as visceral muscle. So they can be present in your digestive tube, blood vessels. Okay, arrangement, either they can be arranged along the length, that is called as longitudinal muscle, or along the circumference, that is called as circular muscle. That is the next type of muscle. Okay, that is the next type of muscle. And the third type of muscle that we are going to discuss is nothing but a cardiac muscle. Okay, now look at the next muscle that we are going to talk. So the, which is the third type of muscle. Now this cardiac muscle, they are actually uninucleated. Uninucleated, that means they are having single nucleus. Okay, but they are going to show the presence of striations. They are uninucleated, but they are going to show the presence of striation. Uninucleated is a characteristic of smooth muscles which are involuntary, whereas striation is a characteristic of striated muscles voluntary. Okay, that means they are going to show the characteristic of both. Okay, so what are the characteristic of both? They are uninucleated, brother, just like the smooth muscle cell. And another characteristic is they are going to show the striation, which are like a striated muscle fiber. Okay, which are like a striated muscle fiber. Are you getting this? Now, if you see that the next part, their sarcolemma, it is not distinct. Okay, the sarcolemma, it is not distinct. Sarcolemma is again the plasma membrane or cell membrane. They are uninucleated, but they are arranged very close to each other. Okay, so that they are appear to be multinucleated. Okay, they are actually uninucleated, single nucleus they have, but they are located very close to each other, so they are appear to be multinucleated. So adjacent muscle join together, and that will give the branch appearance. You can see they can give the branch appearance. Can you see over here? Okay, so they are going to connect with the adjacent muscle, and they are going to show the branching appearance. So the point of attachment, okay, see the statement, point of attachment that shows the transfer thickening of the sarcolemma is called as intercalated disc. You can see there is intercalated disc. Now, what is intercalated disc? What is intercalated disc? These intercalated discs are, what are the intercalated discs? These are the transfer thickening of the sarcolemma. What is intercalated disc? Intercalated disc is transfer thickening of sarcolemma. Intercalated disc is a transfer thickening of sarcolemma. Okay, so because of they are connected with each other, so that will help that cardiac muscle to function as a single unit. Okay, so these junction help in quick transfer of the message. Okay, what is the function of these? These are going to help. These are going to help in quick transfer message or stimulus, so that the entire cardiac muscle will contract as a unit. Entire cardiac muscle will contract as unit. Are you getting? So this junction will help in quick transfer of stimulus and allow the cardiac muscle to contract as unit. You know, whenever your heart is going to contract, entire heart is going to contract. Not it is not going to contract in part, right? So because of these interconnected discs, they are interconnected with each other, and it will function as a single unit. It is going to function as single unit. Okay, understood now. um, so the cardiac muscles are referred are striated involuntary muscles. They have the striations, but they are not going to work as per your will. They are not going to contract as per your will. So some of the mammalian cardiac muscles, they are modified in a such a way that they can generate the impulse of their own. Okay, whatever impulse is there, they can generate the impulse by their own. Therefore, such heart where these muscles are present, that heart is called as myogenic heart. So in some mammal, cardiac muscles are modified, which are capable of generating the impulse by their own. So that heart is called as myogenic heart. But in some invertebrate, these cardiac muscles that need a neural stimulus, it should require a neural to initiate the contraction. Okay, when it required the neural signal for the initiation of contraction, it is said to be neurogenic heart. So human has a neurogenic heart, whereas cockroach has human has the myogenic heart, whereas cockroach has neurogenic heart. So there are two type of heart, myogenic and neurogenic. So what is myogenic? When the muscle itself will contract by their own, so it is called as myogenic. And when the muscle required the stimulus from nervous tissue, it is said to be neurogenic. Okay, so look at the point. क्या point है देखो? Show the characteristic of both muscle. That is, it is uninucleated, which is a characteristic of smooth, and striation, which is a characteristic of striated muscle cell. So they are called as striated involuntary muscle. Then sarcolemma is not distinct, uninucleated fiber, but since they are appear very close to each other and they are interconnected, so they are appear to be multinucleated. So adjacent muscle join together to give branch appearance. Point of attachment where there is a thickening of sarcolemma, that is called as intercalated disc. So intercalated disc is the location where the sarcolemma become thick, and because of that all these fibers are interconnected, so they will work as a single unit. So these junction help in quick transfer of the stimulus, allow the cardiac muscle to contract as unit. And there are two type of heart, that is myogenic heart and neurogenic heart. So what is myogenic heart? There are in some certain mammals, the muscles are modified and capable of generating the impulse on their own. So such heart is called as myogenic. In case of the neurogenic heart, the cardiac muscle need the neural stimulus or neural signal to initiate the contraction. Such heart is neurogenic heart, which can be seen in case of cockroach. So this is all about the muscular tissue. Okay, so far we have studied three muscular tissue, that is striated muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. Okay, so striated muscle is also called a skeletal muscle or voluntary muscles. Okay, they are attached to the bone. Another is called as smooth muscle or visceral muscle or internal muscle or non-striated muscle, which is present in the internal organ. And your heart is having the muscle called as cardiac muscle. Okay, so this is all about the tissue that is called as muscular tissue.